Hi there, crafty friends. Welcome and thank you for joining me. My name is Melissa, and today I thought we would make this super cute and easy card. I made a Valentine's Day card not that long ago, and I decided I wanted to also send a card to my girlfriends, but not necessarily have it be a Valentine's Day card. I just wanted to let them know that I was also thinking of them and hope they have a wonderful day for Valentine's Day, which is the reason I went with the pink theme. This was so simple. We're going to use quite a few items, but we're going to make it as easy as possible. So what I did here was I am using the Artistic Magnolias Washi tape from Pinkfresh Studio. And before we get started, I really just want to remind everybody, if you have not already subscribed, please subscribe. I have a little goal in mind. I would like to at least double my subscribers within the next couple months. So please share me with your friends. Please leave me a comment. The more comments that you leave and the more likes that I get, the easier it is for other people to see my videos in their feed. So I would greatly appreciate that. So I've just got a piece of washi tape here. I put it on a half sheet of 8.5 by 11. And what I like to do is I like to take my bone folder and I'm just going to kind of burnish that washi tape down. I have never ever had an issue with it coming up, but I would rather just take this, extra couple seconds here and just burnish that down. So then we are going to bring in our Magnolia set from Pinkfresh, and I love this because it comes with, well, they're separate, but you can get the stamp set, you can get the stencils, so you can create these flowers in any color of your choice. And I also am using the dies here, so we're just using the washi and the dies. And one thing, I always do that, one thing when you use the dies on your washi tape here, you really need to make sure that your die is secure. Because the washi tape is kind of slick, you don't want it to shift while it's in your die cutting machine. So I like to use quite a bit of tape, and I will also tape it. Let me pull that down so I can get a good look here. I will also tape it on the paper because the washi tape did not reach edge to edge for the paper. So I will also make sure that that tape gets on the paper just for a little bit extra hold. And I am going to tape this on the top and on the bottom, and then also on the sides because I do not want this moving. So over here, I am just going to make sure that that gets on the paper, the die and the paper. And I'm going to do that twice on one side. And if you get the tape on the washi tape inside your die cut, that's okay because it will peel right up. So just make sure it's taped down really well. So I will also tape this over here, and then I am going to tuck that tape underneath because I do not want this moving. Just like that. So let me go run that through my die cutting machine. And you know what? We can even put one more piece. Let's put one more piece right here in the middle, just to make sure it doesn't move. And now those pieces will just pop right out, and they are perfectly die cut because we made sure that they were secured down to that, or the die was secured down to them. So we've got all our pieces here. I will put that aside. And then next, I've already got some things prepared just to make it a little easier. I am in love with this little envelope. And when I saw this little envelope die cut, I knew what I wanted to do with it. So I already cut that out of some craft cardstock. And that envelope came from the holiday gifts set. And you can see the envelope there where they have a whole bunch of presents in there, but I knew I wanted to put flowers in there. So I've got the die. I cut out my envelope. And then we will also be using the stencil set, but we're using only one stencil. We're going to use the stencil that makes the little outline here on our envelope. So let's go ahead and bring that in. And I will be using my grip mat. And like I showed you before, since I'm not actually securing my grip mat down to my work surface, I am going to leave that back piece of cellophane on there, but I want to put a piece of dark paper behind it just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So we've got that. Let's go ahead and put our envelope on the grip mat and then take our stencil. And with that dark piece of paper back there, it makes it easier to line up the stencil. We can get that right in place. Take a little bit extra time just to get it lined up perfect. I feel like that's perfect. So then we can just press that stencil down, and that is on the grip mat nice and tight. And I am going to bring in my Mulberry blush. And I am just going to stencil those lines on there. Just like that. So like I said, I kind of have a goal. I would like to increase my subscribers within the next couple months. I want to double it. So please leave me a comment and share me with your other crafty friends. I do read all comments. And if you have any questions about this card, you can always send me an email to handmadehugsbymelissa@gmail.com. I will have everything that I used listed in the description below. I think that's probably pretty good there. The ink will lighten up a little bit as it dries. So let's see what we got. And I think that's perfect. So when I'm done here, I will clean that stencil, and I'm just going to use some alcohol. So let's go ahead and move on. This card was so simple. So next we've got our background. And for my background, I just love the dimension on this. I'm using the dotted lattice cover plate, but I am not going to die cut with this. This die cuts, and you can see here, you get this really nice die cut, but I just want the background. So what I'm going to do is in my Platinum 6, I am going to remove the B plate and I will just emboss. I just took my cardstock, I placed it on top. This is a perfect 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I just flipped it over like that. I removed the B plate from my Platinum 6. I just put that on there, run that through the machine just like that with that embossing mat. You get the mat with your machine. And that gave me this panel with all this fantastic impression on it. I just love that, all that dimension. So that's what we're doing for our background. And I have already trimmed it to, it's almost 4 5 1/4, but not quite. It's just a little bit bigger than that. And I've already also put a piece of foam on the back of there. So let's go ahead and figure out where we want our die cuts. I know I am going to put the big one in the center, and I'm going to push that down and have the leaves stick out the edge. And then we've got all these other fantastic pieces. So first we want to kind of place them and figure out where we want them. So I'm also sticking one of the larger pieces in here, and we're going to put that in the back. Just like that. And then we can take our other piece here and we'll figure out where we want that one. Just right there. We're just going to kind of play around with it and see where we want these. We are going to cut a couple of our other die cuts, and you can just cut those right up and we can place them in all different areas. We just want to decorate this whole thing here. Let's see. Let's take this piece. We will put it down underneath there. And then we can take another one here. We can put this right there. Oh, I think that's pretty. We're just going to decorate. Take your time and place these all over. Isn't that pretty? I just love these colors. And I want to make sure that I leave enough room at the bottom for my sentiment. My sentiment I got from the Best Thing stamp set, and I heat embossed that in black, and I cut that out with the coordinating die, and I did stack it. I stacked it 3 times, so we just want to make sure that's good there. So now let's glue our pieces behind the envelope so we can see where they are going to fit in there. And I'm not going to glue the entire piece. I'm just going to glue at the bottom because I want dimension. I am going to end up putting foam strips behind those because I want them popped up. So we'll hold that down just a little bit. We'll take our other piece here, add some glue. We will put that one there. Let's take this one. And this one down here on the bottom, we will glue that whole thing down. Just like that. I think that looks pretty good. So now that we've got those die cuts that are going to be in the background glued down, we can bring this off. And let's just pull these others out. And I am going to take some foam strips and attach that little piece right there. I just want to make sure it does not go anywhere while we are adhering our other pieces. So that's good. We can bring these back in, figure out where we want them. And we should have a little piece that sticks out, so we can take another little piece of foam tape and attach that. We don't want to glue the back until we get all those little pieces tucked in there. So let's get some glue on there. It is fussy fiddly work, but it's not complicated. Not at all. And I think that's good. So before we attach our envelope, we need to put some foam tape behind these pieces here. And we're just going to very carefully hold those up. And this is why we did not glue the whole thing down. We're just going to figure out where we want these popped up. We'll put a little piece of foam tape back there. Just like that. That way we get quite a bit more dimension. I like it when my cards have lots of dimension. And we can move that just a smidge so it doesn't show. There we go. Oop, one more little smidge. Perfect. And then I am going to use my tweezers, and I am just going to pull those backings off. Just like that. Now this is all ready. So now we can finish adding foam tape to the back of our envelope. I've got foam tape all on the back of my envelope here. And as you can see, I did double up around the edges and a couple pieces in the middle, just because I want to make sure that there is enough dimension back there. So we're going to bring this back to our card panel. And I am just kind of eyeballing it. I'm looking at the marks on my panel, and I'm just kind of making sure that is nice and even. So now we can take some more dimension, and I think it might be easier here if we use some foam dots. Let's do that, because we are going to put dimension behind these other pieces here, just to make sure they stick up nice. And we're just going to place them wherever we want dimension. We can take our pokey tool, put that foam right on there, and that's perfect. Stick it right underneath. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to get the backing off of there, but it's usually pretty easy. Just like that. I think we just need one or two more. And that way, it looks like a bouquet with layers. Just like that. We need one behind that flower. There we go. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? I love that. And then we can take and we can just kind of fluff those flowers up a little bit. And that is so pretty. I just love that. But we're not done yet. So we need to add our sentiment. And my sentiment, I purposely used the one with the little hole in the middle, so we could still see that almost stitching mark on the envelope. Just put a couple little pieces of foam strips here on that sentiment. And I am going to use just a little bit of glue right there, because that top part is going to stick to the envelope. So again, I'm just kind of looking at my embossed images here, and I can see that this is the center. So I'm just going to try to center that as much as I can. And I want those little stitch marks, faux stitch marks, to show. It's kind of like in one of those envelopes, like an airmail envelope, that it used to have the markings on there. I don't know if they still have airmail envelopes or not. And then I made a couple wax seals here just to kind of finish off my image. I don't know how you guys feel about wax seals. I'm going to try to find the better one. Some of them came out good, some of them didn't. And I've got some little stickers here. We're going to need to trim this down because I used a small wax seal. I used my Spellbinders wax, and that is the green. But this this wax seal that I made here, I got it at Michael's, and I got it because it was smaller. Some of the wax seals, the really popular ones right now, are so much larger, and I wanted something smaller for this little envelope. So I'm just going to trim down my seal, the adhesive for it. But would anybody be interested in seeing a video on the wax seals? When they came out a few months ago, I was in love with them. I had already had some wax seal items, but I did go ahead and I got quite a few more. I've been following on Instagram a lady called Strictly Rita, and she does some amazing wax seals. I don't know how she does it. I tried to do one of her techniques where she will put some wax in one area and then she will scrape it off and then do another color over that. And I am just in love with her creations. But I tried it and my wax dried way too quickly. I just had a horrible time. So I need to get some more practice in on that. But would anybody be interested in seeing a video on the wax seals? Let me know. Leave me a comment. And don't forget to watch my video from a few weeks ago, the gnome video. I will be giving away one of those cards. Just leave me a comment. I will draw a name, but make sure you leave me a comment so I know what you thought about it. Let me know which color was your favorite, and I will send you that one if your name is drawn. So I've got glitter drops in leaf, champagne, and blossom. Those are our 3 colors here. So now we are just going to finish up. We're going to add some bling to this, and let's lay them out first. I will go ahead and do that. So I've got most of my glitter drops glued down here, and I just wanted to point out, I've got some on the washi tape. So when you glue glitter drops or any kind of embellishment down on your washi tape, you want to get that placed and not touch it. You want to be very careful and let that set. Because it's on the washi tape, which is a slick surface, it's going to want to move. But as soon as it dries, it'll be fine. Just make sure that you give it enough time to dry before you put it in an envelope or anything. I don't know, maybe 20 minutes should be good, but it definitely takes time to dry on that washi tape. Now, isn't that cute? I just love that. And it was so simple. And we have a couple pieces left over that we can save for another card. But I think my girlfriends are just going to love that. Please be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think about this card. We're going to go ahead and get that glued down on our card base. And I should have done this first after the little lecture I just gave you about letting those glitter drops dry. But I think we'll be okay. We're just going to place that on our card base, just like that. You can attach that. Make sure not to touch the washi. Give it a second. Burnish that edge. And we are done. I hope you liked this video today. Please leave me a comment. Please give me a thumbs up. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.